You know how when we were in school, they had the Scantron test, right? And somebody got access to the teacher's answer key to the test, right? Got a cheat sheet and everybody passed the test. But the teacher knows that, like, hey, they got some people that don't come to class on the regular, they got some people that ain't paying attention. How could everyone possibly ace this test? The teacher gets clever. They like, I'm gonna mix the answers up and give everybody a different test. But the students don't know that. They feel like since they got the answer key, they go ace the test again. They can show up on test day and they be like, okay, number one is C, number two is B. They feel like they can just fill in the answers because they got the answer key. They're confident in what they've been told the answers were. But a person that is proficient in the subject, right? They know the lesson. They know what it is. They'll read those questions and be like, okay, the answer key said this was letter C, but I know exactly, I know for sure that the answer is A. So the person that has the knowledge, they go pass the test no matter what order the questions are in. But somebody with a cheat sheet in life, this is somebody who depends on what was given to them, what has been fed to them all their life. This is an allegory what I'm using with the Scantron and the answer key and the cheat sheet. You can't get by life with a cheat sheet. You can't do it. At some point the teacher is gonna give you a test that's gonna be in a different order. Do you know the answers for yourself? I feel like when it comes to the end and it's time to face the creator, they're not gonna be, you can't throw that blame on nobody else, because they gonna have their time to answer to the master teacher as well. So you have to make sure you know for yourself here. Just make sure everything that you've been told, cross-reference, double check the answers before you submit them, just to make sure for yourself. Because you could have been given some answers and it might have worked for them. That's the thing about it. Like, well, the answers work for me. Well, that's another allegory in saying, like, they might have got the order to test that the teacher, it just happened that they got lucky. If they didn't know the answers and they just got lucky. But everybody is not going to pass the test. It's kind of like a luck of the draw. Things you're uncertain about. All the answers are within, actually. Don't trust just anybody. And some of the people you get the answers from, they got good intentions for you too. They don't know any better. But you want to make sure. You just want to make sure. Because you might even be able to help them. Sometimes in this life, age is nothing. The age, like the number that we count age here, that don't mean nothing, I believe, to the teacher. That don't mean nothing. They got some people that's well off into their 70s, 80s, and some live to a ripe old age of 90 or whatever, right? And they haven't progressed in the area of, learning on the spiritual path. They haven't progressed. They're still children in the classroom of life. People like to boast about their age. Like, there's a respect that comes with that. And I do respect my elders, but what can you teach people other than, something you just regurgitating the answers to an answer key that you would give it? Like I say, it's not to say that all the answers aren't correct. You just want to make sure you know for yourself. You know how in school, in math, I know they got to a point to where it's like you can't just give the answers. You have to show your work, show how you arrived at that answer. Are you able to do that with everything? Are you able to back up what it is you say? A teacher want to know, how did you get to the answer? Make sure you don't get caught slipping, and find out all the answers you can while time permits. Stay prepared, stay ready, and use your time wisely.